Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Xbox the Box, an Xbox podcast. My name is Roosterteeth, and I am with my good friend Alice. How are you, Alice?
Hi.
You might have just witnessed our brand new intro, which I want to thank Alice for making. We got a new intro for the podcast, and we got a new thumbnail. So it's almost like a new season of the podcast. We've done some overhauls.
Yeah. You made it in GIMP, right? The thumbnail?
Yeah. I like the having like an X shape, and I also wanted to have a bit more of like a game image instead of just having a little game image in the corner. I wanted it to take up more of the thumbnail. But I like your new intro. I was thinking of having like a green tint to it, but to like kind of make it all thematic. But I think it looks better with a highly polished, like good, like high level gameplay, like cutscenes. I think it looks better your way. So I quite like what you've done with it.
This idea has been in my head for weeks, so I finally got around to the Final Cut Pro and I put it together. And I was just like, wow, this program, even though it has a stupidly high learning curve compared to Sony Vegas, it's still incredibly powerful. It's very easy to export, and so far, very impressive.
Yeah.
But as I was going to go in and see if I can make this like a much better green tint over it, but then when I got into it, the trial expired because I was supposed to be using it for 90 days, but life got in the way, so I just left it to the last minute.
Oh,
it's like, no.
I think it looks better without the green tint, to be honest. I said I was going to put a green tint on it. I think it looks better without. But yeah, it's like the first... Because I basically, when we started our podcast, it's like, oh, we need an intro. So I just found some audio, and then I just got the logo and put flames on it, and it made it green, and I was like, oh, that'll do. And then I haven't really thought about it since. So I thought, that'll do fine. Yeah. Just little green flames with the logo, and that was literally all we had for like 2 months, or maybe even longer than that. So we were episode 24, I believe today's episode is. We're 23. I've got it written down. Let me just check. Episode 23. So, well, that's like a couple of months worth of episodes. We've had the same intro, which has just been basic as hell. So I like your new intro. I appreciate it. It kept the same music, which is nice. So
thank you.
Thematical.
Mind you, it's got game trailers in it, so fingers crossed they won't get taken down because surely, I mean, they're trailers. Like, there's only snippets of it, but I think the chances are, I mean, we're dealing with a big corporation and stuff like that, so I hope they don't mind.
It should be fine. But anyway, if we have any issues, we'll put the green tint on it then. That's when we put the tint on it, so it won't get taken down.
Yeah. Anyway, I did zoom in a little bit on it, but anyway, so I was thinking I would get Final Cut Pro to put on my Mac because I tend to edit videos with my Mac in the future. But recently they just only announced iPad Pros, so I don't know if Mac Minis is going to receive a new version, or whether it's worth getting a Mac Mini for purposes, or whether I get Mac Mini Studio, which I can afford. Yeah. And this would be like supremely awesome for the podcast because it means I can host podcasts because of the RAM. But then again, I'm just gambling with a lot of money. Yeah. What's holding me from making those decisions is I still have really bad internet. OpenReach is still trying to get around to getting it sorted out. But until then, it's just on just really slow broadband. And I'm stuck like using a MacBook just to do this. But even so, my MacBook deals with Final Cut Pro pretty okay. Quite impressed with the program. So I was, debating whether I would either get it or I just try Caden Live, which is an open source video editor, which is known of these things as non-linear editors. You can get it on the Windows too, so you might probably give it a try.
I might try that, yeah. If it's open source like GIMP, I'm used to using GIMP now. So I used to use Photoshop back in the day, but now I'm kind of used to GIMP. I kind of use that for everything. So, I could try that.
Then you might enjoy... Yeah, you might enjoy that because it's basically very similar to like Sony Vegas, only I don't know because I haven't yet to try all the features, but it does get the job of like getting the video done. Yeah. But when it comes to like doing some serious video editing, I like Final Cut Pro, but it's currently like 250 quid. And it's like, it's pretty much like whether it's worth paying for it. Otherwise, it's just going to be a huge boon. But I don't really have a lot of video making ideas, especially it's just like the internet is so slow that I shouldn't really be mucking about with it.
No, definitely
But who knows? Who knows?
Yeah. So I mean, I hope you guys enjoyed the new intro and you like the new thumbnails that we're still a newish podcast. I know we're like episode 23, so we've been around for a little while, but we're still kind of new at this. So any advice or any tips you got, let us know in the comments below, and spread the word. We're still growing and still evolving the podcasts as we go. So yeah, I thought that was cool. I liked the new intro. We got a little bit of Master Chief in there, some Forza, it's a Grounded. It's all my favorite stuff. So Minecraft. Yeah, good stuff. So let's move on to what we've been playing. Our usual first subject of the podcast. So what have you been playing?
I've been playing Hue. So this one is offered on Xbox Live Gold as a freebie. So I just got that and I played and completed it again with 1000 gamer score, just like I did it on the PlayStation 4, I think. It came out in 2016, but I got it through Gold and I was trying to get some more points for Microsoft Rewards. So I just completed that and aced. Mind you, this is a game made by Henry Hoffman, who is part of the developers who made Cube for PC, PlayStation, and Xbox.
Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Okay.
And it's been recently got a anniversary edition that came out on the Xbox. But yeah, it's just quite nice, and you can definitely see lots of good things that Henry put in, like the stylings where you got black assets, or you get black buildings and platforms, and all placed over some kind of canvas that changes from different colors. Then you just use a color wheel to switch between colors, so you can make the colors that match disappear like boxes, and then you just make the colors pop out. So it's just a really interesting puzzle. But yeah, it's just definitely one of those portable. It's Portal lookalikes and in 2D.
I like that.
So it's just it's cool.
I'll have to try that.
Also, Dan, you may have to buy that because it used to be on Xbox Live Gold. Dan LaRoche did. Yeah, Dan LaRoche did actually produce it too. So
that's cool because
it's just quite nice.
Because they went to the same university as us, didn't they? I think I played Cube. When they were in development, so he's got on to make that since. Is that correct? So that's...
Yeah, because I met some of the...
That's cool.
Some of the people there who worked on Cube, who then went on to have a group and just make stuff. But mind you, it's not Toxic Games for the Cube. It's Fiddlesticks for the game, and I think it was I think it was a self-employed type of name. I don't know, but yeah, Fiddlesticks is what Henry's been working on. So I just look up if he's got any more projects.
That's cool.
Because I know.
I think I met the guys years ago, but obviously it's been years since I've talked to them. But I'll have to try and catch up with them, see how they're doing. That's all. I didn't realise that. That's cool. I need to play that myself. I've downloaded it on my Xbox Gold membership, so I should be able to play it. So that will be on my.
Oh, you should check it out.
Definitely on my playlist now. I've been playing a lot of Plague Tale Requiem, which came out yesterday, but we're not going to talk about that right now. We'll talk that at the topic of the show, which is our October blowout. But I've also been playing Grounded, loving it. Still playing Grounded, still a lot of fun. I think I'm getting to the point where I'm almost going to hit a wall now, though, where I'm all the bugs are too much. They're too difficult for me to take on my own. So I think we need to team up and take some of these bugs down. Got big ants, army ants, and I got spiders and cockroaches and stuff. And it's they're too big. I found an area that was the game is so cool. I found an area that was almost looks like a wasteland from Fallout, but it's obviously they just put some weed killer down. It's hilarious. Thinking about it, but it looks kind of Fallout because it's everything's dead. All the insects are dead and stuff, and all the plants are dead, and it looks it's it's really well done. It's very clever. The way they do stuff in that game is very, very clever. I've only just started to. I found clay for the first time, and I started making. Got like a pot to store water in, but I have no way of creating the water into that pot, so I need to figure out how to do that. But yeah, I'm kind of getting to a point where I can't really continue without getting any friends involved because it's too hard to do on your own.
Well, I will endeavour to like go on and help you out because I've been like doing a lot of Salem fan art, but I stopped, and because of the Roosterteeth drama, it's just thought I really need to take a break from it.
Yeah.
Also, I think the fan art is just like got me like really burnt out, and I've done some like really impressive ones, and then it's just like there's National Novel Writing Month next month, so I would probably need to like bug myself with some time. Do fan arts if I want, but I think it's probably better to like catch up on games. So I might probably lend you a hand to build this thing and get you back to normal.
Let's try and get through the wasteland. It's awesome though. I'm enjoying it. Yeah, so that's what we've been playing, I guess. So do you want to discuss the Rooster Teeth stuff? Because I don't really know much about it, to be honest. We did say we were going to discuss it briefly in the news, but I feel like I'm uninformed.
Well, I think you were like used to be a fan of it, didn't you?
Back in
because
the day,
you did like dream with. Yeah, you just dreamed of Dean that you would work for it. And is it because of like Achievement Hunter, like they did some like Let's Play videos or some sort?
Yeah, I mean, I used to like Achievement Hunter, and I used to like Red vs Blue back in the day, and I like Funhouse. They were fun. But yeah, a lot of people who I liked started to leave and got fired or quit or whatever. And it's like, I don't know. I still like pop in every now and again, but it's yeah, I don't watch them as much as I used to. I used to watch them a lot more than I do now, but I still enjoy it from time to time. But now I'm like, I don't know who's dodgy and who's not, so I don't know what to say really. I don't want to go, I really like this person, and then you go, oh well, they're a dodgy person. It's like, oh, never mind. You know what I mean?
You're talking about Adam Kovic. I can't pronounce his name, but it's Adam Kovic. Is it?
Oh yeah, I remember Adam Kovic. Yeah, he was.
There's more accounts. Yeah, there's more accounts about him. Like he's. I think he's talking about there's scandals, and there's also like scandals of like going with certain people. But I don't want to get into it. But yeah, there's more.
And it was Ryan as well.
More evidence
from.
Yeah.
I heard about some of that before, but I've kind of lost interest in it really. I've not really been paying much attention since. Yeah.
Well, I think you should know that I followed them when Red vs. Blue came out. Like when I was following like Halo 2, and I was like checking out the internet, I heard about Red vs. Blue, and it was like huge back then.
Yeah.
Because it started out as a machinima in like Halo.
Yeah.
Then I learned about the Roosterteeth Easter eggs, even like Halo 2 DLC.
Yeah.
And you can tell like
Griffball.
Like if you think of Halo, you also think about Red vs. Blue, which is pretty much a good like show that's made in Halo. So I think Bungie and Roosterteeth seems to be quite well together for once. But it was only before they turned into the bubble into a huge entertainment studio.
Yeah.
And then now it's just bursted, and right now is in huge fire. Now, first of all, right now, based on the recent accounts from lots of people who worked there, it's gone better in the past few years, and people are saying there isn't a lot of crunches anymore, and there isn't like a lot of controversies with it. But they still have problems with like bad management as well. So, yeah. So, but yeah, it's just like how I put it. It's not as bad as it used to be.
Yeah.
But they are just like still around. But I think because of this drama, it's just like made me like really, really fed up and just feel I can't really trust him anymore. So I'm gonna go through the reasons why. So, can you hear me? Because I think I heard a little bit of microphone buzz.
My microphone cut off briefly, but I'm still here. Sorry.
Anyway, I got two of those he didn't read, and it's made by the precious mods of a Ruby server. it says here several Roosterteeth employees were laid off, which includes Matt Bragg from Achievement Hunter.
Oh God, okay. Matt Bragg, I remember Matt Bragg.
Then Caden just stepped. Yeah, so Caden stepped in because she feels as if people focusing on Matt is the only big deal with Roosterteeth. But then she posted a tweet longer, which details that she had a lack of pay for overtime voiceover work. She had incredibly low wage for a position, and she's been dealing with crunch condition as well as some homophobia as well.
That's not good.
And she was dealt with some transphobia from the management too. Then, many of those co-workers have contacted Caden, who were given her with some apologies, and some of them were accepted and some were not, because there has yet to be an acceptance apology from Gavin, because he even went on Twitter and then used slur and trying to get her to do vids, but Jeff, he apologised,
Right.
but he was expected to sort out about the payment issues. So, Roosterteeth's Twitter has released a statement. In the Photoshop image, it says it's been detailing measures which are supposed to take, reduce issues like discrimination, as well as the occasional necessity of layoffs for business reasons. Then there's more ex-employees, there's more employees coming forward with more stories, and that includes, there was a mocap active for Ruby who's has hurt her back, and she's currently dealing with surgery, but she felt it's a life-threatening injury. There's more workers who have been gone through bad management, and there's even Aaron and Samantha Island. So the ones who voiced Blake and Nora in Ruby.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
They both mentioned that. I think one of them had a partner who's been in the crunch, but they also mentioned about their roles being threatened because they asked for higher pay. So basically, it's just
Right.
I think the manager back then was Gray. Gray said that they threatened to recast Blake if Aaron gets the higher pay. So let's come out there. But then there's some evidence about Caden's being involved in some using slurs and some hateful stuff that's in the past videos 12 years ago, and she did apologize for that. Not everyone took her apology, but then there's even more employees coming out describing about their experiences. There's a mixture of positive and there's negative.
Right.
And then you've got Josh Grell, the voice of Tyrion. He said he won't reprise that character in Ruby due to the company's bigotry. So because of all this, the Roosterteeth podcast was cancelled on Monday this week, and they retweet. They also made a bunch of statements they made last night, which is better, for argument's sake. But yeah, it just comes up with more accounts that Ruby 49 was delayed because of bad management, and there's some really bad management with the rigging.
Right.
But there's more people saying that everything else dealing with Ruby production is doing fine. But there's even more accounts about there's problems with Genlock's production where it has more nuances with it. And there's even someone who created Nomad of Nowhere, which I don't have the link somewhere, but apparently it's someone who said that they got that idea out for Nomad of Nowhere. They had creative differences, and it ended up with the creator losing most, if not all, of the rights to Nomad of Nowhere. And it's wow, it's really bad. It's just there is plenty going on, but that's pretty much all I've been through.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot to take in. So yeah, I mean, because we weren't sure if because we mentioned this earlier, we weren't sure if. Well, I wasn't sure if we should mention it in the news or not. I mean, it is kind of Xbox related, but as it is big news going on the internet. I'm hoping the people who've been discriminated against are going to get justice and everything's going to work out for the best. I mean, I don't really know what else I can say because I'm not that well informed about it. It does sound like a horrible situation. I'm hoping that
it is.
if we ever get bigger, this channel, I'm hoping we're going to be able to keep ourselves grounded and treat everyone fairly. If we ever have more people to the group or whatever, or if we ever grow as a channel, it's interesting because, like, obviously, as you said, that they started off with like 5 people and now there's like hundreds of people working there. So obviously, it's not harmonious. It's not as it's not as nice as it used to be there. I don't know. It's strange.
Well, I would have to stress that the biggest issue with it is that people were not paid enough for the work. Even though a few people have spoke out that this is typical behavior in like the entertainment industry, and elsewhere in Texas, it's like you don't get anything else decent for the payment because they're in a state which doesn't actually allow a lot of unions, and Roosterteeth doesn't like unions. It's only like when Warner Brothers step in, they had projects as part of a SAG, which is the union thing. So, but yeah, I think all in all, it's just that people didn't have really good experiences in the past, and there's people like saying that it's gotten better and it's better, but they did also admit that at the moment a lot of Rooster Teeth employees were like getting really stressed and burnt out by the news, and they feeling as if it just like impacts their work. There's even a few worried that Ruby Falling 9 is not going to be that great or well received because of the drama. So, but at the moment, all of this stuff had made me like really has ruined my mental health for quite some time, and as a Ruby fan, it's just like really terrible. And I think for this reason that I just don't really trust Rooster Teeth anymore. I don't mind if Ruby is cancelled or not. All that matters is just for people who worked hard on the show to be placed in an even better environment. And so far, there are accounts that they're getting a much better environment. But I think they do deserve a lot better than what they've been treated in the past. So that's how I would say that.
I would agree. I agree with you there. I don't really know much, but I don't know much about it. But from what you've said, it sounds like hopefully they'll be paid fairly and treated fairly going forward. Speaking of not being paid correctly, the Bayonetta voice actress, who has been voicing Bayonetta since Bayonetta 1 and 2, and also Super Smash Bros., has come out on Twitter saying that she was offered only £4,000 to reprise her role, even though she's the main character of a multi-million-dollar franchise on Nintendo, which is bonkers to me. What do you?
You cancelled the Bayonetta free game day, right?
I've cancelled my pre-order. Yeah, I had it pre-ordered. I cancelled my pre-order, and then I got someone online saying, "Oh, you simp," or something like that for cancelling. I'm like, well, I feel if like doesn't matter if he was a woman or not. It's the fact that someone's been treating me unfairly. I feel like I don't buy Ubisoft games for like the same reason. Like, I don't really buy. I don't like. Because me and you are both we've been in game design. We've both been on the inside and stuff. When I hear some things like dodgy's going on with like development and like people are being mistreated, I don't like to support that company. If like and people go, oh, you have to boycott every single company in the world if that's the case and all that, and it's just like, I guess, but it's if I feel like it was the right thing to do was to cancel my pre-order and to stand with this voice actress with Helena, I think her name was.
I think to me that I just think I would rather get it in a sale or something like that. Yeah. But I'm definitely not paying for this game anyway, because I was split between whether I would get Bayonetta free or not, because I got money to save. Yeah. And I would have to rather like spend it on something that is worthwhile. So I think a lot of it getting Pokemon Fighter instead. Yeah. But who knows? But anyway, I must add that the story that even what Helena just said, there was a director of the franchise or game of some sort, and it's got really annoyed, and then he left Twitter.
Yes.
And he's been blocking everyone who's been challenging him. So it's like, it's just
He
ridiculous.
blocks
Like,
anyone who doesn't speak Japanese to him. He blocks. Apparently, he's like, it's like, how childish. Yeah, if you speak English to him, he won't respond to you. He'll just block you. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, like, there's the one thing, like, people are going, oh, I don't think boycotting's the right thing to do. It's like, I feel with most companies, the only way you can really fight is by using your wallet. You know, you have to fight with your wallet. The only thing they care about is their bottom line, you know. Just going on Twitter and complaining about it, but then still buying it and then giving them the money, they don't care. Like, you know,
there's a few people. There's a few people out there who are buying multiple copies, and I'm like, oh, come on, really?
Why would you do that? I don't understand. Like, you just buy.
I think it's just those who doesn't like
childish.
her, like having to. Yeah, it's just like that. But bear in mind, I think the story is a bit more complicated on that, because I think there was an article came out which is from, I think it's Observer or some sort. They said that apparently the information around how she was offered is a bit fake, and it says that she could be offered $4,000 per each session. But I think really, right now, I just think there's got to be more to this truth, and knowing from all those sides. Yeah. But the truth is, Platinum Games should have like treated her better and get her paid to do this. But I think it just seems like as if, given that like it took so long, like about 5 years since the announcement and getting the game ready.
Yeah.
I think it just makes me a bit skeptical about how are they managing things, or how do they manage to get people paid and got with some like good work experience. But anyway, I'm not buying Bayonetta 3 when it releases. Full stop.
Yeah.
I've also cancelled the Roosterteeth first, which I only subscribed this year just to watch Ruby Ice Kingdom. But I'm not really going to be financially supporting Roosterteeth ever again, because I just don't really trust them, really.
If you want to support someone, support me, Potato Chief, or Potato Pro Wrestling on Patreon. No, but yeah, Bayonetta, I agree with that. And then also, Platinum is like, they've been a bit dodgy the last couple of years. I feel like there's something going on in Platinum, and I don't know what it is. Obviously, Scalebound got cancelled by Xbox, and then they've what was it Babylon's Fall they just released?
Yes.
And that tanked. I think Bayonetta, it's hard because people are going, oh, why should you punish
it's a service for. It's a service for Babylon's Fall that's going to end in like January next year, so it's going to be dead anyway.
But it's like people are like going, why would you punish the other members of the staff who've done nothing? It's like, well, what do you want us to do then? Just do nothing? Like we got to do something. I feel like you got to do something to stand up to these people. And that, as I said, money speaks louder than words. Okay, but I think people. I mean, I'm not 100% sure how it works, but I don't think people are going to be. Us not buying the game is not going to directly affect the developers. I think it's just going to affect the publishers, really. Like, the people who make the games are going to get paid hourly rates for the amount of hours they've worked, right? They might get a bonus or something for the amount of sales, but I feel like basically any profit from this game would just be going to Platinum Games. So us not buying it is actually a good thing when it comes to boycotting it. I mean, I'm assuming. Maybe I'm wrong. I might have that incorrect, but as far as I'm concerned, if you're like an art director or like a coder or anything like that, I feel like you get paid the rate of pay for like hourly pay while you do it. I don't think the sales at the end of the day shouldn't really affect how much you've got paid through the process, and I don't think the profits will actually affect you in any shape, way or form, unless you're like an indie studio and you actually invested in the company yourself. I mean, am I wrong there, or like I feel like
I think you pretty much said it yourself, really.
I think like the only person people are punishing for not buying the game is the publishers essentially, and then the people who are doing these dodgy things like underpaid staff. I mean, people are saying there's like, that's the standard rate. So that's a rubbish rate. That's not a good thing. It's like saying, oh, that's the minimum wage, or like that's what everyone is earning. It's like, just because that's what everyone's earning doesn't mean that's right, It's mad to me. I don't think that's. I stand with her. I cancel my pre-order. I will not be buying it. I might get it second hand or something, so that I don't actually help finance the game. But we'll see. Yeah. There might be more news might come out soon, and maybe it'll change my mind. But at the moment, that's where I stand on this one.
Yes.
Right.
I'm not. I think I would rather be saving my money and not buy too many games.
Exactly.
So I think I'll just be taking the benefit of the doubt by saying, yeah, not buying Bayonetta 3, of course.
Save a little bit of money. Yeah. Okay. So what else we got? Oh, so the UK government CMA has basically regurgitated what Sony have said about the Activision deal, saying that it's going to be unfair for Sony if Microsoft gets Call of Duty, and it could foreclose Sony. It is ridiculous. Like, so Xbox said it themselves. They said the third place company getting one game is not going to foreclose Sony. They think they think this Activision deal could be such a big deal that it could literally kill PlayStation, and that is absolutely ridiculous. And they're like saying if they think it's gonna be unfair if Xbox can put exclusive content on the Xbox or have a better version of it on Xbox, even though PlayStation have been doing that for the last 5-6 years, like getting exclusive betas and exclusive skins and exclusive stuff. I mean, they're still getting that for Modern Warfare 2. So, but it's okay for Sony to do it, but it's not okay for Xbox to do it. It's weird. It's like the CMA, UK government, is coming off really corrupt here. They're coming off really dodgy. Like, I never thought I would say I feel like Brazil seems the less corrupt government of the two, which is crazy to think. Because Brazil just came out and said, yeah, it's fair enough. Like other shooters exist, it's not the end of the world if they lose Call of Duty, but like, so the CMA are really, really, for some reason, they're really in Sony's back pocket here. That Sony, I don't know what Sony have done to get the CMA on side. Have you been following this at all?
Not a great scale, but it just makes me less proud to be British.
It does,
but,
yeah. It's dodgy.
But then I'm Cornish, so whatever.
Yeah, it's true. I'm Welsh, so working class Welshman. It's weird though. It's just really strange. So I don't know if the UK government's gonna hold up this deal. It's like they think it's gonna be they're saying it's gonna be bad for competition. They say stuff. Basically, everything they've said in their thing can be applied to Sony, and it's really weird. Like, if Xbox get Call of Duty, they could put the prices of their consoles up without competition. It's like Sony just put the price of their console up. Or like they could charge people more for games. It's like Sony are charging more for games, and like it'd be bad for the consumer to have it on Game Pass. Like, how would it be bad for the consumer to have it at a cheaper price? I don't understand.
Yeah, I think it is.
It doesn't make any sense.
I think it's pretty ironic because with Sony, I think because of them trying to do all these price rises, it's just getting the UK to like trust the words and
weird.
regurgitating everything. And it's just like once everyone else is like agreeing with the Microsoft buying Activision deal, because let's face it, they do have a right to pay for Activision and get a cross.
Yeah.
But for the UK to like fully believe Sony and feeling this anti-competition and seeing they're not part of like the EU or anything like that, they're just going to end up be the ones who are shooting themselves in the foot, because it's just they're going to end up making a bad decision and feeling as if Sony has a right to go against the deal, but then they're just going to be the ones who are not likely to be taken seriously when other countries are allowing Microsoft's deal to go through.
It's pathetic. I don't understand what they're doing. I feel like you've woken a sleeping giant with Xbox here. Like, I feel like if this doesn't go through, do you think they're going to take it down lightly? I feel like if Xbox doesn't get Activision Blizzard, it's going to end up being like, they're like, well, okay, we'll buy Sega instead. They're cheaper, and we'll pay for other exclusive content instead. And they'll like, I don't understand what, like, Sony are basically they've shown their hand here.
They're trying to prevent.
They're showing they're being dirty and underhanded here, and they're trying to.
They're trying to prevent Microsoft to buy any other of those companies.
Yeah.
Like, oh, let's go for Sega. Sony said nope. No. Even though Sony is based in America. Oh, well, let's buy this. Nope.
Sony just wants to protect their bottom line. They're number one at the moment, and they're scared of competition. They're scared of Xbox being a competitor. Like, they were happy when Xbox was just like basically releasing 1 or 2 games. Oh, we'll release Sunset Overdrive or whatever, and we have just Halo, Call of Duty, and Forza, and like Halo, Gears of War, and Forza. I don't know what's Call of Duty, but it was like they're happy when Xbox was just that. But now Xbox is like, we're going to compete, and we're going to try and get as many studios as PlayStation, and we're going to have Game Pass, which is like going to be a service good for the customer, and like now all that stuff's there. Sony's like, no, you can't compete with us. That's not fair. We don't want competition. We want to be undisputed number one. We don't want any competition at all. And then they're fighting. They're just fighting to not have any competition. It's sad, and I feel like if you're the CMA is supposed to be helping competition. They're completely stopping competition by getting in the way of this merger. Microsoft wants to buy Activision. Activision want to be sold, and Microsoft are third place. They have no mobile. They have no mobile division. They're like third place in consoles, and they got loads of other PC like Steam and Epic and GOG and all that are doing better on the PC side. So it was like
I would have to step in. Sorry.
Go ahead.
There's actually a bit of extra bits to it because Microsoft is relying on the Activision Blizzard acquisition, which they're going to be using it to further their mobile game plans.
Yeah.
And that's according to the news that Microsoft is looking to build an Xbox mobile game store to take on Apple.
Yeah.
So I don't know how that works, but it looks like they're definitely looking to get this done.
Oh no, that's the point. Yeah.
And what's the deal? Yeah,
well,
that's why.
No, as I was saying, at the moment before Activision, they haven't got any mobile thing. But once they get Activision Blizzard King is a massive mobile developer, and that would put Microsoft would get them competing in the mobile division. So they're not competing in mobile, but this acquisition would help them compete in mobile. So basically, they essentially, for competition's sake, you would get Xbox competitive in mobile space, the cloud space, the PC space, and the console space, and they would actually all be able to compete on a level with other companies. But for some reason, the UK just wants to get in the way at the moment, which makes me very unpatriotic. It makes me very sad to be British. That we're the ones that are basically I mean, allegedly, I don't want to get in trouble for this, but it does seem like Jim Ryan's slid them a couple of like 20 quid in their pocket or whatever. Shush. It's like, hey, yeah, just side with us on this one. It's like they're coming across really corrupt, and I don't like it. It makes me really sad to be British, really. When the Brazilian government comes across as the more level-headed and more sensible and more less corrupt of the two, that's saying something, and that's crazy to me. But before I get myself into trouble, maybe we should move on to another subject.
Well, I also found out in the Forbes article that CMA has ordered Meta to sell Giphy, the GIF library, which they feel as if the ownership is anti-competitive.
Okay.
Which Meta is now obeying. So it could be that they may end up trying to force Microsoft to step off. But I just hope there's more people trying to stop it or some sort like that, because it's not for the UK to have their say against all others who are allowing Microsoft to buy Activision. And I think it's just basically trying to do it in Sony's favour and has this huge grasp over everything.
Yeah.
They're just trying to turn into this huge mega corporation and trying to run the monopoly here.
Yeah, I mean, Sony's that's the thing as well. Sony are the only company that seem to be against this. If Google came out and said, "Oh, we're against it," or Meta, or Amazon, or or other game companies like Sega or Nintendo came out and said they're against it, that's fair enough. It's literally just Sony. It's Sony's word versus Xbox is here, and they're siding with Sony, and everything they're saying is completely hypocritical and contradicts itself. Like saying about how Xbox could stop competition or stop exclusive, like they can make stuff exclusive. It's like, well, that's the reason PlayStation's number one is because they've been making stuff exclusive for 20 years plus. It's like it's like, oh well, Call of Duty can have like certain features available only to Xbox. Like, yeah, you mean like it is now on PlayStation? Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's all hypocritical. It makes no sense whatsoever. Speaking of money, I don't know how the transition. I'm not very good at doing transitions here. Microsoft Game Pass is made $2.9 billion only on console last year for 2021. So people who are saying Xbox Game Pass is not profitable, there you go. It is profitable. I mean, that's all I really got to say about it. It's like good news for Game Pass. I love Game Pass, and I want to support it. Keep going forward. I think we kind of dragging on a little bit here, so I'm just gonna go through the news quickly.
Yep.
Gotham Knights is only going to be 30 frames per second. The art director blames the Series S for this, which is complete bullshit because the CPU in the Series S is just as powerful as the Series X, and when you do like the Digital Foundry did a breakdown of Plague Tale Requiem, and the Series S had a better frame rate than the PS5. So I don't know how you can blame this. You can blame this. And the Series S has more 120 frame per second games than the PS5 does. So like because like the Xbox doing the upgraded frame rates for all the games. I forgot what it's called now. Like frame rate boost. So it's like, it's weird to me and then people believe it as well, that they're saying, oh, the S is holding it back, it's holding back the consoles. It's like, it's not. Like, statistically, it has the same CPU. It's not holding back anything. It's essentially like it's like PC. If like a PC game has to have multiple different specs, it's a slightly different spec. Like, and like saying games holding stuff back, it's like you've got Horizon Forbidden West and God of War Ragnarok came out this year. They both come out on PS4. So how can you possibly say that? Like you say God of War looks bad because it was on PS4. Like I feel like Gotham Knight, and they're using that as an excuse, and it's a very poor excuse. I feel like you could get around that, and you could make 60 frames a second. You could make that a mode. You like if you said you couldn't get it working on the Series S, then just have the Series S at 30 frames per second, have 60 frames per second on the other two. I don't understand. Like on the PS5 and the Xbox Series X, I don't understand why that's a problem.
Well, that's the reason why. Like when someone received an update to Disney Dreamlight Valley, they're now running that 60 frames per second on Xbox Series X. So I think it's just them. It's just like being awkward and just like, the Xbox Series X is just an inferior one. But I think there's a lot of stuff that just contradicts on what they're trying to say. Yeah. So it's just ridiculous.
Yep. So then Obsidian have come out and said that they want to make a new Fallout game, but they've already got too much on their plate. They've already got Outer Worlds 2 and Avowed coming up, so they can't make another Fallout. So like basically, Bethesda said they're going to make a new Fallout. Obsidian said they want to make a new Fallout. Both of these are not going to be out until 2030 something at this rate. Because we got Starfield, then we got the new Elder Scrolls, and then they're going to start work on Fallout 5. If we get a Fallout New Vegas, it's going to be after Avowed and after Outer Worlds 2. So it's like, we're not going to be getting a new Fallout anytime soon, but we might be getting two around the same time. In like 2030, around that time, we'll have two Fallouts competing against each other by two different developers, maybe. I feel like we should just make a developer called like the Vault or something. Like make another make a developer just for Fallout, because it's weird to me that the Fallout franchise is going to be dead for like 5, 6 years. Between like it's weird because it's such a big franchise.
We'll have to see about. Yeah, we'll shall have to see about that, because I don't think there's a lot of momentum on Fallout because I enjoyed Skyrim.
Yeah.
But there's like Fallout 4 and there's Fallout 76.
Yeah.
But I don't think these games were as being talked about as much as Black Desert Online or even Final Fantasy 14.
No, exactly. Well, like you were saying about Elder Scrolls, like Skyrim's been re-released multiple times, and Elder Scrolls Online is like still quite popular. Whereas Fallout, they released Fallout 4, they haven't re-released it, and they haven't. And Fallout 76 is still not a very popular game. It's got its fan base, but it's not up there with the most multiplayer games, unfortunately. No. And I feel like that's not the impression you want. Like the Fallout TV series is coming out soon, and I don't feel like that's the Fallout you want people to go to like, because like it's been shown from like the Halo TV series and Witcher TV series and stuff like that people go to the games. So do you really want that to be the Fallout that people go to? I feel like maybe they should do a remaster of like New Vegas or Halo, a Fallout 3 maybe or something. I don't know.
I would say if there's anything, I would imagine it will just be ending up like that Halo TV series.
Yeah. Oof.
Because I think it's mixed and twisted on the game. And I feel that Fallout could be suffering with the same fate. Yeah. Also, I haven't heard so much about the Fallout show, so I can't tell. Do you know who's going to be published by?
No, I can't remember. I've been following it, but I can't remember now. It might be... Is it Netflix? I can't remember. Guys, let me know in the comments below who it is, because I don't actually remember. I'll have to look that up later. But the Fallout TV show is in development, and that's going to be coming out next year. And I feel like if you...
Oh, it's actually Amazon.
Amazon, okay.
It's Amazon, not...
Amazon.
That's
Okay.
Not Netflix.
Fair enough. No, that's fine then. So Amazon, yeah. So that'll be a good... I mean, like, if that's popular, that's going to bring people to the series, so surely you want to have a game there for them to play. And I don't think 76 is a good first impression for people to have a Fallout. I feel like you should do a remaster of Fallout 3 or 4 or New Vegas, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, so yeah, that's the Fallout news, and we got one more piece of news before we get to our topic of the show, and that is on the same day, Sony have announced the DualSense Edge for £210, which is their Pro controller, which is ridiculously overpriced. £210 for a controller, you're mad. And Xbox have announced the Elite Series 2 on Design Labs for $149.99, which is a lot more reasonable. Would you pay £210 for a controller? Because I wouldn't.
No.
40 quid more, you could buy yourself a Series S. I mean, I was just saying about how great the Series S is. Like, why would you buy? I don't understand. That's so expensive and so overpriced. The Xbox Elite one
because...
Go ahead, sorry.
I just think, like... I'm just trying to find this DualSense Edge because I saw it announced.
Yeah.
But this is just basically, like, very similar to the DualSense 5.
Yeah.
Only it has a little bit of extra bits of it, but no difference.
No, it's £210.
But then,
which is insane.
But then, if you compare it to Xbox, like, is it Elite Controller Series 2?
Yeah.
There's a little bit of difference, and I think it's like as if you have a different kind of controller. But I think trouble is that I don't know how the Sony's controller would fare down well because. Yeah. There's been controversy surrounding the Xbox Elite Series 2. Like, they had a lot of, like, issues to deal with. Like, there's some controller issues, like some of the components not working. And there were some problems with customer service and trying to get it delivered. So, Microsoft were given lawsuits, and it led to people, like, receiving, like free controllers or even free Xbox credit.
Oh, right. I didn't
like,
know that.
to me, it's very similar to when I tried to deal with the Xbox Design Labs controller.
Yeah.
Set it in, waited for the month to get it sorted out, and then got refunded. So I'm just like not getting another Design Lab controller.
No.
And to me, given the issues with Series 2 and Design Labs, I think the Design Labs is like really cool.
Yeah.
But I think those two wrongs does make for a double amount of risk.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I would trust Design Labs to design the controller and have it sent to me.
Yeah.
But if anyone says, "Oh, I got this, it just works fine," that's okay. But I don't think it really warrants the price compared to other controllers.
No.
Because at the moment I've got the 8-bit DO controller, which has to be wired at all times. But for the most part, it really works. It's just the D-pad, it's a bit iffy, but it's not interrupting the play experience. But for what it's worth, it's just still really good. I like it.
Fair. That's fair. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to say about that. I mean, I'm more. I have a PS5 and I have a Switch. And I have a Xbox. I have everything. I'm more likely to lean to the Series S, the Elite Series 2 on Design Labs than I am to buy a new PS5 controller. I feel like the Xbox controller, I feel like they've refined it. This is their second generation. They know what they're doing now. I know they said they still got issues, but I've never had any. I've had more issues with my PlayStation controllers. And I wouldn't pay £210. Come on now, that's so much. That's so much money for a controller. That's insane. But I feel like they're both very expensive. I don't know if I would buy either of them at the moment, but maybe I'll see if they worth the kinks out of that. But yeah, expensive controller wars. We have the fancy controllers. Let's wait for the fancy Switch controllers to come out now.
You already got Switch Joy-Cons that you can attach to the Switch. That's grips, and it's by the third-party retailer.
Oh yes, I've seen
get them for £40. But yeah, it just helps to play the Switch. So yeah, it's cool.
So now we're on to our topic of the show. Topic of the show. Oh, October. Should have sung September by Earth, Wind and Fire last month, but it's October, not September. Never mind. October is banging awesome. Dope, fresh, dope, and awesome. There's a lot of good games coming out on Game Pass in October. So we got the free update for Forza Horizon 5, which is the 15-year anniversary event, which has a free event, and there's been extra achievements and cars and stuff added, which is cool, and it's for free. Yay. Thumbs up for that.
Yep.
Scorn, which is a spooky puzzle game that is disgusting and gross, and I don't know if I want to play it or not. Are you interested in Scorn?
No, I haven't been thinking about it. I've been thinking more about Plague Tale, and I'm not trying to get it in.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, so...
But...
Scorn is disgusting.
However, also on Game Pass, it's just... There's a bunch of games that's interesting, there's Gunfire Reborn, Phantom Abyss, Frog Detective, and Signalus. But there's some really noteworthy game that besides Persona, there's Soma, which is a horror game.
Oh, yeah.
And there's Amnesia Collection. So you played it for the Let's Play once, did you?
Oh yeah, I played Amnesia once years and years and years ago. Yeah, and it was a big group of us playing it. It wasn't I wasn't on my own playing it. I'm not a horror fan really. I'm not really super into horror. I think next week we're going to do a Halloween special where we're going to talk about our favorite horror games and stuff. And honestly, I'm not super into horror games. There's a couple of games I really enjoy, but yeah, I feel like Plague Tale is probably as horror as I get. And that's not a horror game. It's but it has got some really creepy stuff in it. But yeah, so obviously Scorn, as we said, everyone says it's a horror game, but it's actually more like a puzzle game. But it just looks gross. So, there's people's limbs and stuff sticking out, and it's all blood and guts and everything is nasty. It's got good reviews. Well, average reviews. It's in the 70s. People say it's interesting. I might, if I get when I take some time off work, I might just spend a day completing it, get all the achievements, and just do a one run playthrough. Apparently, it's 5-6 hours long. So if I had a guide up, I think I could do it in one go. And it might be just a fun game to get 1,000 gamer score on. So maybe that's worth doing. Maybe do that on Halloween. Something to do on Halloween. Something spooky. Persona 5 Royale is finally coming out for the Xbox. Persona 5 Royale, I had it on PS4 and it was a lot of fun. And I'm really looking forward to playing it again on Xbox. I'm really looking forward to it. Are you a fan of Persona?
A bit.
Yeah.
I played Persona 4 before, so it's just got lots of cutscenes in it. It's like as if you're watching the films and stuff, but I heard these are very long games.
It's like watching a Japanese anime. I like my as I said, I enjoyed it for what I played. I really enjoyed it, so I'm looking forward to trying it out again. It's been a while since I played it though. I'm excited for it. But obviously the big game that came out this month, and what is essentially the topic of the show, is Plague Tale Requiem. This game is The Last of Us 2 if it had good characters and interesting story, and if it was well written.
Set in the medieval times.
Yeah. I much prefer this. This is what I would wish Last of Us 2 was. I mean, it's such a good game. It's really pretty, and the I say pretty, it's gruesome as well. Like, it's really, but like graphically stunning, and the gameplay is really good. You haven't got that far into it yet, have you? I'm on chapter 3, so I played a couple of hours this morning, a couple of hours last night. So I'm not that far into it yet, but I'm really enjoying it from what I've played so far. It's a bit gruesome in parts, which is, to be expected. So it's not a horror game, but I wouldn't say it's, it is. You have to be. It is a little bit squeamish. There is some stuff there like not very nice at all. If you don't like rats, you're not gonna like this game. Let's put it that way. There's a lot of there's a lot of rats.
Just think of them as mice.
Vermintide and stuff's got mice and rats and stuff in it. Yeah. Oh my god, it's such a good game. I'm really enjoying it so far. Like, I played the first one and I really enjoyed the first one, and it's more of the same. And it's just the puzzle. It's like basically got to use light to. It's like a puzzle. So it's like a weird puzzle game. It's like the rats don't go into the light, so obviously you have like the enemies going around like these like corrupt soldiers who are trying to kill you. So you want to kind of cut their light source off so the rats will get them and stuff like that. And it's just like, it's very clever. And it's like an interesting stealth game. I heard you can get a crossbow in this game. I haven't got it yet though. I'm looking forward to getting that. That should be fun.
Interestingly, I'm going in blind and I haven't really checked out.
Yeah.
And I didn't realise until yesterday he's actually set in like a medieval era.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I thought it was set in the modern times.
No.
But I only got as far as like going through the field and got towards the cliffs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just got too distracted to play the rest of it. But I will try to play more of it tonight.
It is a lot of fun. The first game was all about the Spanish Inquisition. The Inquisition were after you. Like, nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. As Monty Python say. It was all about the Inquisition. Now this game, I'm not sure who the baddies are in this one. They're weird, but you'll see yourself. I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't played it yet. But it's just like, it's Hugo and Alicia and their story about trying to heal Hugo from this plague disease that he's got. It's like magical plague thing. It's dope. It's a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it from what I played so far. So I've only like 3 chapters in, but the graphics on it is so pretty, and the gameplay is like really fun. It's like a fun stealth game. I haven't played a good stealth game in a long time, and it's like it's up there. This could be one of my game of the years. Gotta be honest. I say that about every game lately, but I said that about Deathloop. I said that about Grounded, and now I'm saying that about Plague Tale. I'll probably say about God of War, but this is up there in my game of the year discussion for sure. Definitely, it would be up there. Are you there, Alice? I think I've lost you.
I'm still here.
You just zoned out. I would say it's in my game of the year discussion for sure. Probably the best game on Game Pass this year for sure. I would put it up there. Can't wait to play more of it. I'm really looking forward to beating it. Hopefully, maybe we'll do a spoiler cast if we beat it in like 2 weeks. Maybe like next week.
Yeah, we'll try.
Maybe do Halloween next week and then do a spoiler cast the week after. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see. Or maybe do a one-off spoiler cast if we haven't got much to talk about. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Because what game are you most looking forward to in October then? I mean, because obviously, as I said, there's a massive lineup of games coming out in October. Plague Tale is the one for me.
I don't know, because I don't seem to think so much about it, but I think so far I'm really impressed with Grounded and Plague Tale. So my approach to games this October is just seeing whichever comes out really good and something worth checking out. So I'm like trying to check out those games.
Yeah.
But apart from that, it's just like doing other games that I feel most comfortable doing. But as for November, I'll probably most likely be buying Pokemon, and that's not without, and that's not going to be a pre-order because I think I would buy it provided that the reviews are any good.
Yeah, I've pre-ordered Pokemon Violet because I use the voucher system, so my pre-order from Bayonetta has been moved over to Fire Emblem Echo or whatever it's called, the new one. Is it Fire Emblem? Yes. What's the new one called? Coming out in January.
I forgot about it too.
Yeah, I've already pre-ordered it with that. I moved my Bayonetta pre-order to that. You see, have a look.
I think it's Fire Emblem like Fates, but it's not. But I don't know.
Engage. That's what it's called. Engage. Yeah, pre-ordered that.
Are you sure? Because it could be referring to Nokia's cancelled game console.
Oh, the mobile phone, the Engage. Oh my god, don't get me started with that. I'm not going to be playing God of War Day 1. I'm going to be getting that for Christmas, probably. Cause, it's in a paid 80 for it. But if we're going, Game of the Year discussion, I think Plague Tale's going to be in there. I haven't finished it yet, so maybe it'll be like The Last of Us, and I'll end up hating it by the end. But at the moment, I'm enjoying it. I mean, like the last, I've got the platinum trophy on The Last of Us Part 2 because I beat it twice, and everyone goes, "Oh, how have you got a platinum trophy and beat it twice and still hate it?" It's like, because I didn't hate it at first. It's like when I replayed it and I looked at I could see all the flaws in the gameplay and stuff in the story. That's when I started to hate it. It's like when I had rose tinted glasses going into it first time, and then the second time I went through it, I was like, "Oh yeah, that sucks. Oh yeah, that sucks. Oh, I hate this character. Oh, I hate that character. I wish this bit wasn't in here." Oh, and then that's literally what it was like the second time I played it. So, oh yeah, this bit was a bit of a slog, wasn't it? Oh yeah. Oh, I wish this bit would be better. I wish this character wasn't here. It's like when you play it the second time, you notice all the annoying things, and they annoy you more. Anyway, Plague Tale, check it out. If you have Game Pass, which you should do, if you're listening to this podcast, why do you not have Game Pass? Get Game Pass. If you have Game Pass, download Plague Tale. If you're a bit squeamish and you maybe have if you're scared of rats, maybe it wouldn't be for you, but otherwise I think this game is really fantastic and it's worth checking out. It's a lot of fun. It's a stealth game.
Have you played Innocent? Have you played Innocence? If not, don't worry, just go for Requiem.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you missed something by not playing Innocence, but if you haven't played it, go ahead, just go straight into Requiem. I think you'll be fine. I mean, Alicia, you play Alicia, and you got your little brother Hugo, and you're in medieval times. And I said the last game was the Spanish Inquisition. This game, it seems like it's different baddies, but very similar. And then there's rats everywhere, and the rats can basically, you got to keep the rats out of the light. Essentially, that's like the whole gameplay mechanic. So it's like it's cool. It's like it feels like a zombie game, but not. There's not zombies in it. It's just rats essentially, and then humans are the most deadly of all the enemies. Like, moral of the story. the real monsters are the humans all along. I enjoy Plague Tale. Highly recommend it. That's it for the podcast this week. And we've kind of gone through the topic of the show quite quickly. I thought we'd have a bit more to discuss, but really, I mean, I don't really want to spoil anything for you guys, so maybe talk more about it next week when I finished it, or I'm deeper into it. I'm only 3 chapters in, you see, so I have really got much more to say.
I think to me, I think it's been a rough week because I've been reeling from a lot of drama that's happening over the weekend. I'm like, oh gosh, I just went through this, and I feel like I slouch for the podcast this week.
Yeah.
But at least we just made it through, and it's shorter. We just went through a lot of details, so well done.
Yeah, I mean, I've not had the best week either. It's been a bit of a rubbish week for both of us. The UK's not been the best at the moment with politics and stuff. I don't want to get into too much detail, but just the country's not been the best, and the whole atmosphere. I think Plague Tale has cheered me up a bit because I've really enjoyed it. So I'll have more to talk about next week probably. And if we do a spoiler cast, I'll have loads to talk about.
I do have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you think Liz Truss's PM role is gonna? Well, I mean, do you reckon the letter's gonna last longer than Liz Truss's PM role?
Probably not. I think probably by the time we get to the spoiler cast, we'll probably have a new prime minister at this rate. The rate we go in 2 weeks. Give it 2 weeks.
Are we?
It's ridiculous. Politics. The UK is just shambles at the moment. Let's just leave it at that. It's a joke. Really. Well, I forgot what I was going to say now. Yeah, so that's it for today's episode. Hopefully next week we'll be a bit more lively. And it's a Halloween special next week. Ooh, spooky. Ooh, spooky, scary skeletons.
Ooh, spooky.
If you have any spooky questions or spooky things, I don't really know what to say. Halloween next week. Looking forward to it. Hope you guys enjoy the episode today. Let us know what you think of the new intro, the new thumbnails. Share it with your friends, your family, your mother, your grandmother, your auntie, your best friend's dog,
whatever.
Your dog's best friend. Share it with everyone. Share the podcast. We need to get out there. We need to grow, and we're still quite a small channel. We want to try and get out there. We're already at 12 subscribers. We want to hit like 20, 30 before the end of the year. Would be brilliant, and just keep growing would be fantastic. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and until next time, too sweet. Ladies, guys.
Bye.
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 Thank you for listening to the X Marks the Box podcast. Follow us at X Marks Box on Twitter or X Marks the Box on YouTube. And follow us on all audio podcast services. Thanks for listening.